This is lesson 8.11 on page 160 in your book, and we've actually gone over all three of these concepts before, so it's going to be pretty easy if you don't overthink it. So for your warm-up, you need to define what a dependent and independent clause is. You are correct if you said a dependent clause cannot stand alone. It depends on some other part of the sentence. And an independent clause can stand alone. It can be by itself. So if you know these two definitions, the rest of the lesson should be pretty easy. So these notes are taken from page 160. A simple sentence is a single independent clause. You have learned this since the first grade, so this should be no problem for you. I like cheese. That's a simple sentence, right? Compound contains two or more independent clauses, so these clauses could still stand by themselves. So I like cheese, but I don't like donuts. If we were to break this up into two sentences, I like cheese, I don't like donuts. They can both stand alone. They're both independent. A complex sentence has one independent clause and one dependent clause, so part of the sentence cannot stand alone. While some people think donuts are delicious, I think they are gross. So this first bit before the comma, this is the dependent clause. It cannot stand alone, and you can tell by the way that you read it. While some people think donuts are delicious, see how it leaves you wanting more? I think they are gross. So that is an independent clause. That makes the sentence complex. So if you're still having trouble with compound and complex, there are a few key differences. Compound has an independent plus an independent. Both can stand alone. They have coordinating conjunctions, so that's fanboys, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So we are eating tacos for dinner and we are having ice cream for dessert. Whoops, I forgot a comma. But both of these can stand alone and they both have a coordinating conjunction and. Okay? Complex is a dependent plus an independent. It doesn't need to be in that order. The dependent can come second. And it has a subordinating conjunction. And we remember that through awubis. So that's after, while, until, because, if, so, okay? Although online school is hard, we still need to continue to learn and grow. So, although online school is hard is the dependent clause, it cannot stand alone. I highly recommend you read the examples on page 160 because those are good too. The definitions are a bit wordy and they might confuse you, but still good idea to read. Exercise 1 says, tell whether each sentence is simple, compound, or complex. Super easy. So number 1, it says, Kathleen Mary Kenyon, who was born in England in 1906, became interested in archaeology early on. This is a complex sentence because there's a dependent clause, who was born in England in 1906. That can't stand alone. Number 2, she attended Oxford University and became the first female president of its archaeological society. Simple, even though it has the word and, none of that can stand alone. That's all one complete thought. And number 3, she learned the method of excavating during her work in England. There's no conjunction, there's no comma. That is, again, a simple sentence. I have a meeting at 1 with the faculty and a meeting with Mr. Casas and Mr. Garcia after, so I really need you guys to ask me questions in the morning because after 1, I'm pretty much not free.